Well, it all comes down to this, folks. X, Zero, taking on Sigma and all the Mavericks. Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man X. In this episode, we're taking down Sigma. But first, we have 4 stages to crawl through. 4 stages in this fortress. And it's not going to be easy. So let's hop into it. So immediately, we're going to start outside his fortress here. And X and Zero are going to go over the battle plan. Zero's going to go in first, distract the main forces, as he's going to say. And then we're going to slip in, and let's see if we can rough Sigma up a little bit. So for this part, you're going to want to start out with Storm Tornado. It's going to make this part so much easier to take out these tortoises. And as you can see, if you keep pace with the tornado, you can actually take out multiple of the tortoises at once, which just makes this so much easier. Now, this coming up may be the hardest part in the entire game for me. I don't know why, but this part with the platforms is just so annoying. Because these guys come out of nowhere, and if they hit you, they're going to knock you off the platform, and you're going to die. And because this is all of these platforms are completely over endless pits, so if you fall off the platforms and don't recover onto another one, you're dead. But we made it without incident this time, mostly because my advice, again, as you probably saw, was to use the homing torpedo, just to make sure you can target those enemies before they can get to you. Because if you don't, and they're not coming in at just the right angle, you're not really able to adjust your shooting angle while on those platforms. So they'll knock into you from under you, or from the side, or from above you slightly, and just ruin your day. But now we're moving in, we're into the fortress now. We've made it inside. Sigma's in trouble. We're going to get our health fully up, and a boss door. Alright. We're ready to... Oh, come on, Zero. Zero doesn't trust us yet. He doesn't think we can take Vile. But, so they're going to run inside, and unfortunately, we are helpless. In fact, we can't even see the battle. The game locks us inside here. And it will actually freeze you for a few seconds, and you're just going to hear the sounds of combat. And then, silence. Dead silence. And we're walking in. Who won? We can do nothing except walk into the empty room. Oh, no! Zero, no! Vile. Alright. Let's get him. We lost to him once. Let's get him. X knows that he can't defeat me. Yeah, right. We're gonna kick your ass, Vile. You got us once, but we're getting you this time. So now we're fighting Vile. Once again, he doesn't have a health bar. So, notice it's the same music that played last time we fought Vile. That should tell you something. And he's not seeming to take any damage. This could be trouble. But we're going to keep wearing him down. Let's just keep hitting him and see what happens. We got to save Zero. There's nothing we can do except for fight him. Now, this fight, as you probably guessed by now, I'm going to stop with the melodrama here. This is also an unwinnable fight. Even if you use the Hadoukens right off the bat, which kill all health bar bosses in 1 hit, and kill all mini-bosses in 2 hits. Even if you use Hadoukens and hit them with 3 or 4 Hadoukens, simply no way to beat Vile. We can't defeat him, it's impossible. So, I'm just going to let him kill me now, just to move on with the plot here. Once again, we're trapped and helpless in the electrical orb. And it looks like Sigma's going to win. Looks like Vile's going to end our day. But Zero breaks out. He's free. Epic music. What's Zero doing? Self-destruct. Zero. Zero just gave us a chance. Now it's even. He doesn't have that armored carrier anymore, so maybe we've got a shot. But we're still trapped. We're still helpless. So I'm not sure what Zero was planning. But Mega Man, back to full energy. Now we're in the ball game. Vile seems surprised here. Didn't expect us to be up for round 3. But, I think we're going to get him this time. We are so ready to just wreck this guy. He beat the crap out of us at the beginning of the game. He beat the crap out of us and Zero just now. And now we get to fight him on even terms without his armored carrier. His weakness, rolling shield. So you're going to want to get that out. And we're going to wreck him. See, he just takes a ton of damage from rolling shield. After all the build-up to this fight, it's disappointingly easy if you know his weakness. Because he really doesn't threaten us. And then, boom. Bang. You're dead. Suck it, Vile. You deserve this and more. But unfortunately, the win was not without a cost. Zero. Zero's bleeding. I'm not really sure how a robot can bleed, but he's bleeding. He says he can't heal it off. He's fading. And he's giving us our last pep talk. He knows it's going to be us against the world. We have to take down Sigma completely on our own. And Zero vanishes to be one with the Force or something. I don't friggin' know. But he's dead. Well, I shouldn't say that, because if you're familiar with Mega Man at all, you know that Zero always comes back from the dead. Like 6 times in this series, so... For this game, at least, Zero's passed on, but if you play the sequels, you're going to see a lot more of him, so don't be too down. Because everybody knows that Zero's the best. Although his voice acting's pretty shitty. But anyways, we're going to climb up this tower here, which is a pain in the ass, because there's a huge concentration of enemies, and there's really nowhere to dodge. Another boss door. So, as I hinted to earlier, we're going to be fighting every single one of the Mavericks over again. So, first we start off with Boomer Quanger. I mean, you can memorize the order just so you have the right weapons out, and that'll help a little bit. But really, interestingly enough, you can tell pretty much every single boss, because they all have one unique feature in their boss room. Boomer Quanger actually doesn't, interestingly enough. But, like, for example, Chill Penguin has his hook. It's a nice hook, but he has his hook. Storm Eagle's outside. Armored Armadillo makes a hole in the ceiling upon appearing. Flame Mammoth has the conveyor belt. Launch Octopus is in the water, so that's going to be underwater again. Because, I mean, he's an octopus, he can't really live on land. Even though he's a robot, I don't really get the logic in that, but whatever. And we're moving in to the end of the first boss stage. And we're actually going to be taking on, it's funny, for me, the hardest boss in the entire game, or either hardest or most frustrating, one or the other, is the boss of the first Sigma stage, right here. It's a spider boss. And the weakness for this boss is Shotgun Ice, but the hit frames for this boss is microscopic. In the time you can hit him per the time he's on the stage, you can only hit him when he opens his eye. He's going to come down from these pillars here and snake down. You'll see the pillars connect to each other, and he's going to snake down based on that. His hit frame is only when he opens that red eye. And if you're like me and are terrible at predicting where he's going to be, and he hits you, you won't be able to hit him back. And these little spiders are incredibly annoying. It's a very slow boss fight, because you can only hit him at the end of each segment. And if you miss, you have to wait for him to go all the way back up and come all the way back down. And it's painfully long, unfortunately. And this is the place I'm most likely to die in the entire game, actually. Just because I'm kind of bad. I don't know why I'm bad at guessing the path. And then he hits you. And he doesn't do that much damage, but it adds up if you keep guessing wrong. Because if you guess wrong, again, there's no way to hit him. So, or if the spiders get in the way, just ruined a perfectly good shot. But, so while this rather tedious boss fight is going on, how you guys doing? Got any exciting plans for the weekend? For me, I've actually got some pretty cool... Oh, I hate when he does that. Sometimes he'll stop halfway through and throw spiders at you, and just completely fucks up the rhythm. Anyways, he also fucked up the rhythm of the commentary here. I got some pretty good plans. My best friend is having his 22nd birthday party over the weekend, so that's gonna be fun. And my sister lives in New York now, because she's out of college now. So she's working in New York City, doing finance. And, oh shit, I'm gonna have to use a sub-tank. Oh, I can't believe I have to use a sub-tank, that's embarrassing. But I didn't want to die, because that's even worse. I know he only has one hit left, but since I don't have shotgun ice anymore, fuck. I'm gonna have to beat him with other weapons. Oh, shit. There we go. That was infuriating. Anyways, my sister's in New York, working now. And so, oh, thank God I beat him. She's actually coming home to Boston for the weekend. As I said in one of the earlier episodes, I go to school in Boston. I'm from Boston. And she's coming home this weekend. It's funny, she comes home today because she used to be in Boston for the weekend for work. I don't know exactly what she's doing, but... And so we're going to meet her for dinner Friday night, which is tonight, and tomorrow night. So that's going to be rather cool, because I haven't seen her since Christmas. So it'll be nice to see her for a couple days. And then after that, I'm going out with my friends. It's going to be a good weekend. But here in the second Sigma stage. Now, about the Sigma stages, I have mixed feelings about the Sigma's Fortress stages. On one hand, I really like how they sort of have they build up to each other, in that the first stage starts outside, then you fight Vile, who's sort of like the front door guard, and then then once you fight Vile and fight the first boss, you're pretty much inside. And then from here, you're gonna be working further into the castle, and you're gonna fight more Mavericks as you go. Like in this stage, you only fight 2, and then in the third and final Sigma stage, you fight a whopping total of 5. So, like, it really feels like you're getting closer to Sigma, because you're fighting more and more bosses as you get closer. And I think that's cool. However, I don't like the music in these stages. Your feelings may vary on that, but I just don't like the music, because I like the music for the normal Maverick stages so much better. And as I've said earlier, I really like how the game flows when you're in like the normal stages, and you're just dashing, jumping, shooting, and you just keep moving, and you're just progressing. But with all the bosses you have to fight, there's so much stationary work. It's just not... You're not moving. You're just going boss room after boss room after boss room. And there's only like 1 or 2 little rooms between it, so you don't really have to flow. But anyway, Chill Penguin is a joke with the Fire Wave. You can just hold this down, and if he doesn't take a hit from you when you're holding it down, that means he's about to belly slide, because he can't take damage when he's preparing the belly slide. So then you know just to jump over him and wait for him to finish his belly slide, and then hit him one more time and knock him out. So, Chill Penguin's down. What I'm gonna do actually is I forgot to do this for Boomer Quanger, and I apologize, but for the bosses we haven't faced with just the X-Buster, and so you didn't really get to see them at their full potential, I'm going to spend a little time on each boss fight just using the X-Buster, just so you can kind of see what the bosses look like, difficulty-wise, strategy-wise, and timing-wise, if you choose to go through the game in a different order, so you don't have their weakness. Just to help you guys out, if you want to go through in a different order than me. I mean, I kind of use it, I don't use a standard order. There's a few standard orders that you can find online in like FAQs or like on message boards and stuff. I don't know any of them off the top of my head. I know everyone does Chill Penguin first. That's standard, because he's got the dash boots, and the dash boots are fucking awesome. So pretty much everyone I've seen does Chill Penguin first, especially because it makes Flame Mammoth stage so much easier. But some people go through just going strictly in the order of weaknesses. So they'd go to Spark Bandrill, then Armored Armadillo, then Sting Octopus, and so on. other people go through like the first 4 or 5 bosses without weaknesses. And to do that, since they feel comfortable fighting all the bosses without their strong point weapon, which is actually, I could probably do it, but my order, not only do I get to fight 6 of 8 bosses the first time around with their weak weapon, I also get through the entire game in 11 stages. I visited a total of 11 stages. The 8 initially, and I have to backtrack to 3. The fastest possible route is 10 stages, which includes backtracking the Armadillos for the Hadouken capsule at the end of the game. I don't remember exactly what that route is, but you can find it online. But what I do know is that pretty much involves fighting almost every single boss without their weakness. So pretty much going in reverse order from the weakness chart, and instead going the other way. So for example, you'd pretty much be fighting the boss, and then fighting the boss that the weapon that you would have needed for the last fight would be on. So it's complicated to explain. I guess, for example, like, if you're thinking it's Storm Eagle, you would go from Storm Eagle to Flame Mammoth. But with this order, you'd go from Flame Mammoth to Storm Eagle. So it's pretty much reverse order. And that order, actually, now that I think about it, you actually do Flame Mammoth before Shield Penguin, because you, actually, do you? I can't remember, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of it in my head, the order that you would use. But, anyways, we're coming through. We just defeated Storm Eagle, who with the Chameleon Sting you saw was a joke. And we're coming up on yet another boss door. Assuming we go through like one room, and we're at the end of the stage here, the second Sigma stage. And this boss, his weakness is Chameleon Sting, so you're gonna want to be careful fighting Storm Eagle, because if you miss too many times with your Chameleon Sting, it's gonna make this boss a little more difficult because you're not gonna have his weakness. They do this intentionally. In each of the Sigma stages, with the exception of the first one, so really the second and the third, the sub-weapon that the end of stage boss is weak against is a weapon you're going to use earlier in the stage. So for like this stage, it's Chameleon Sting, which we just used to defeat Storm Eagle, and in the third stage I won't reveal it till we get there, but just know that you're going to be using that sub-weapon a lot in the third stage. But this guy's kind of annoying, just because when you destroy the nose, which I'm about to, I think, the stage gets really small, and it's just annoying. And I'm down to my final hits, so I'm going to have to be really careful. Alright, we're good. We'll make it. So that's already, I'm starting to slip here. I mean, the last stage I had to use a sub-tank, which is embarrassing, and this stage I very nearly died to the final boss in the stage. It was actually pretty easy. Usually the way you die is if you screw up and jump into those spikes at the bottom, which they're blown up now, but those spikes are an instant kill if you fall into them without invincibility frames from taking damage. So I'm gonna make this a marathon video. Actually, this is gonna be probably close to 40 minutes, maybe even longer, because I'm gonna take on the rest of the game, the credits, everything else. So I hope you got some popcorn, because this is gonna get intense, even more so than it already obviously is. So as you can see, we're already starting out with a boss door, and as I said earlier, this doesn't really have any flow to it. This level's just a slog. So Armored Armadillo, get out your electric spark. If I can, Jesus, I'm so bad at cycling through these because I'm trying to look at Armored Armadillo and bring them up at the same time. And that's a tip that I can give you, is memorize the order of the sub-weapons when you're scrolling through them. I mean, there's only 8. I mean, this is something I really should have done by now, since I've been playing this game for like 15 years. But it just will make it easier for you, because like you won't have to look as you try to fight a battle. I mean, you can always pause and just go to the pause menu and do it like that, but I don't like to do that because I like to have some flow. I don't like to pause when I play, because like it just roughs up your timing a little bit, and I don't like that. But so Armored Armadillo was down, and the reason I didn't fight him without the X-Buster like I said I would was because you're not really gonna see much. All you're gonna see is me shooting at him, and he'll just deflect it and make me look stupid. But I'll do that for the next few bosses, since I promised to. Just to give you a better idea. Like, my advice is don't fight Armadillo without Spark Mandrill's weapon. It's just a pain. I've done it, and I've beaten him, but that fight it took me easily 10 minutes just to beat Armadillo. Like, not even the stage and everything included, just the one boss fight. Which, if you've been timing my boss fights, is like, usually it takes like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So 10 is ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't take me 10 minutes to beat all 3 stages of Sigma combined. So, I mean, it was just slow, and I had to use sub-tanks. So, as you can see here, fighting Sting Chameleon with just the X-Buster is, you can't use the pattern trick because he's not knocked off the wall by it. So, you're just going to want to watch the screen rippling from him teleporting, and you're going to be jumping a lot. You're going to need to be on the wall. You're basically going to need to be on the walls the entire fight. It's really the only way to do it. And you pretty much just have to wear him down. Like, there's no way to do quick damage to him because he keeps moving. And when he's invisible, you obviously can't do damage to him. So, one thing that's nice, they give you a little gift here. As you can see, I hit the spikes on the ceiling. That Sting Chameleon uses as a handhold of sorts. Those spikes are not instant kills, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd be dead and having to start the stage over. But, I mean, those are the only spikes in the game that are not instant kills. Which is kind of weird, but I guess it makes sense because they wouldn't want to put an instant kill in a boss room. Because, like, the bosses are tough already if you don't have the appropriate sub-weapon. So, they didn't want to make it too brutal on the player, which is fair. So, that's one thing that Mega Man X did that's fantastic, is they looked at all the small features, like all the little design factors that potentially could be flaws. Like, just the little things, like not putting instant kill spikes in the boss rooms. If the Armored Rider, you get knocked out and you come across one, you have a chance to get his. It's all the little things they did right that make it such a good game. And in Sigma's stage, the final stage of this castle, if you're fighting Sigma and you lose, and you've used all your sub-tanks, used all your weapon energy, they give you a little farming area that you can use to refill all your energy, so you actually have a chance to fight him. In one of the earlier Mega Man games, I believe it was, I think it was Mega Man 1 or Mega Man 2, if you ran out of a certain weapon while fighting Wily, there was no way to refill it, and you couldn't beat him. So the only way to beat him would be you had to suicide to get a game over and restart. And that's an example of terrible game design, because you don't want your player forced to commit suicide to restart an unwinnable boss fight, especially on the final boss, where they've been, like, slogging through the entire game for hours, especially a hard game like the original Mega Man, where they've died countless times, they've gotten countless game overs, and they finally made it to the end of the game. And because they died once to the final boss, or ran out of the weapon energy, you're going to make them completely start over. So as you can see, Spark Mandrill is not easy when you're not freezing him, because he's really big. Like, he takes up a lot of the stage. Because the only Maverick that's probably bigger is Flame Mammoth, but Flame Mammoth's stage is so much larger in comparison that Spark Mandrill's tough to dodge just because of his bulk. And he's quick, too. Like, he's quick, so you really gotta just be careful and time your jumps right. But he's down. And, you know what? We're getting up on time, so I'm gonna save the... I know, I promised you'd get to see the final boss in this stage, but, I'm not exactly too sure about YouTube time limits and size limits, and I don't want to have to break up the video, like, in the middle of a Sigma stage, or break it up, like, in the middle of, God forbid, Sigma's fight. So, I'm gonna break it off at the end of this stage, and leave Sigma for the credits, and my final thoughts on this game for next time. I know, I'm sorry, but I promised you all 4 parts, but I just took a glance at my clock, and it's gonna be a long video anyway. I mean, you're getting half an hour of this today, so you should be thankful you get a nice long video. But the octopus here, launch octopus. The secret I can show you, you can effectively cripple him if you hit him with 3 boomer cutters. You can cut off his arms, and now he's stuck solely to shooting missiles. That's his only remaining attack. He can't use the tornado. He can't use anything else besides jumping around and shooting missiles, which it makes this fight a lot easier because you only have to worry about one singular attack, one singular move pattern. I mean, I'm still doing a crappy job of it, but as you saw when I fought him last time, even like normally, this boss can drive me nuts. I don't know why. I just don't like water physics. It's a whole bunch of reasons. But, Launch Octopus is down. And by my count, we're down to... I think we're down to 2 Mavericks left. Maybe 1, actually. I think I lost count here. Let's see. No, we have 2 left. 2 left? Anyways, we'll find out in a second. I know we have Flame Mammoth left. And I'm pretty sure I'm blanking on the second, but it doesn't really matter because we'll find out soon enough. Now, Boomer Cutters. They made this stage is basically Boomer Cutter stage. Not only do you get to use the Boomer Cutter against Sting Chameleon, well, you could if you weren't me and fought him without his sub-weapon. You're going to use it here to pick up a bunch of items. You can use it to fight Launch Octopus and cripple him. You can use it to fight Flame Mammoth and cripple him, which I'll show you in a second. And the final boss in this stage, the T-Rex guy, is... I spoiled it, I'm sorry. He's a T-Rex type robot. And you fight him with the Boomer Cutter, too. So you're definitely going to want to be very careful with your Boomer Cutters and conserve them as best you can. Just don't use them on normal enemies or anything like that. But anyways, so Flame Mammoth is now without his trunk. So he, in this form, he can't shoot oil slicks, and he can't change the speed of the conveyor belt. He's left to just shooting singular fireballs, and he can also jump around and stuff, but this effectively cripples him as well. So I'll demonstrate fighting him now with just the X-Buster. And the strategy for fighting him with the X-Buster, even if you haven't crippled him, is pretty much the same. You just want to keep your distance. Like, he's going to close it quickly with these big leaps, but you definitely do want to keep your distance, keep close to the wall, and then just wear him down. That's really the strategy for all the bosses, really, with the X-Buster. There's no boss you want to be close to. Like, it's just... because all of them do a hefty amount of damage just by making physical contact with you. And so you're going to want to keep your distance. You're going to want to stay near a wall, because the walls really give you your best avenue of escape to pretty much every attack, with the exception of Spark Mandrill, whose electric sparks climb the walls. Pretty much every single boss, your best escape for all of their attacks is to climb up a wall and jump over them, or be up on the wall and have them shoot high, and then you just slide down underneath. So you're going to want to stay near a wall, you want to keep your distance, and just be patient. Like, just keep your charge shots up, and when you've got an opening, hit them with your charge shot. And you're going to take some hits. You might even die once, but it's not impossible. I mean, they wouldn't design a game where you couldn't beat any of the bosses without their sub-weapon. So, that was really weird. I couldn't get up on the edge there. That was weird. So, we've now defeated every single Maverick. They won't be making any more appearances. And we're actually down to our final 2 bosses in the entire game. Well, sort of. Because like every other game in existence, Sigma is a multiple phase boss. But we'll get into that when we get there. So this T-Rex, weakness is Boomer Cutters. He has this energy ball shot, which is really big, and the only way to dodge it is to just go up above it, just hug the wall up here. He can crush you between his jaws, which does a lot of damage, so you're not wanting to do that. and he can crush you against the walls when he moves. But not a hard boss. Just keep moving. If you've got boomer cutters, just keep using them, and you'll knock them out pretty good. But, so that's that. We're through everything in the game, except our final confrontation with Sigma. One more boss. The final boss. X and Sigma. The battle to end all battles. It's gonna be epic, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the final battle.